It should have gone somewhere else. I don't know what it's for, but I know with certainty this isn't turning off skill-based matchmaking in the game. Who is going to allow you to turn off skill-based matchmaking claimed it's had? I think this is just another bug or something they forgot to take out the game, or it should have gone somewhere else. I don't know what it's for, but I know with certainty this isn't turning off skill-based matchmaking in the game. Who is going to allow you to turn off skill-based matchmaking in Infinity Ward's camp when they've made it very clear from Modern Warfare 2019 that they have tried to make this game easier for newer players so they don't get, I think the exact words Joe Seacott used was punched in the mouth when they start trying to play the game. And that's why I like Treyarch, because Treyarch are of the mantra that people should have a boot camp, go into the boot camp, get their bearings, and once they think they've got their bearings, then go into the wild world. I mean, every other game, Apex Legends does it. You can go and have the boot camp. Some of the games, it's mandatory that you have that particular training. I think they need to return back to the days where it used to be connection is king. And it's a miserable experience for certain people when they're of a certain skill set who have to play in lobbies over 100 ping because the algorithm can't find them anyone locally to play. The quality isn't there for the experience, and it shouldn't be like that. I remember actually in Black Ops 2 when they first turned on the skill-based matchmaking. I think they was testing it for ranked, but there was a couple of weeks where that game was absolutely miserable to play. And I actually ended up going back to Modern Warfare 3 for a period of time until they done what they done and turned it back to normal. And that was a particular test. And if any of you guys played Advanced Warfare, you will remember what skill-based matchmaking was like when it first really hit the scene in Call of Duty. I know why this guy's done this video. It's for several different reasons, but I don't think he's got people's best interests at heart. He's on his way to 100k, I think he's at 85. And this is a very clickable, you might even say clickbait video. It's a video that plays on people's emotions, and that's what people click videos for. There's an emotive reaction to what they see. There's some type of intrigue to what they see, and they've clicked on it because there are so many people in the Call of Duty community right now that just really hate the fact that skill-based matchmaking is turned to max on the dial. And if they can find some way of circumventing that, of course they're going to look. So I think that's what this guy's done this video for, because he knew what response he was going to get to this. And I don't believe it works in any way, shape or form. There's no way that Activision would allow you to just turn skill-based matchmaking off in the game. And that's essentially why people are out there doing things like reverse boosting. And in terms of the lobby that he's playing, I can only think of two things that have happened here. He has either been thrown a bone like I have in my previous video, where I've had about 10-15 matches of utter pain, and then just before I'm about to log off because of this engagement optimized matchmaking, where they can see I'm probably going to have that feeling of to hell with this, I've been thrown a bone where the people in the lobby, even I'm thinking, these look a bit strange. These people don't look like they know what they're doing. It happens to all of us every now and again. And some of these people that are doing this setting are probably ending up in those lobbies, and then it's just pure coincidence that they've ended up in there at the same time. They've just watched this video, just put this setting on, and they believe that it works. Because let's be realistic here. If you put this setting on casual, are you trying to tell me every single one of your games going forward is going to be easy for you? It's not going to work like that. The other thing he's probably done, which is what I'm more pointing towards, is he's reverse boosted, got himself this really tanked lobby, and then he's obviously showed the clips he's showing in the background to rebuff what he's trying to say with this setting. I think it's a pretty disingenuous video. I can't knock the hustle. He's made himself a few $100s for Christmas. Fair play to you, mate. But for me, it's a clickbait video that has got people to click on it because they're going to have an emotional reaction to skill-based matchmaking. And for me, it didn't work. And for you guys, don't waste your time because it's not going to work for you either. Down in the comment section, guys, you can tell me if it's worked for you or whether it's a placebo, but I'm willing to bet that you guys have had a miserable experience eventually. Again, just like SBMM wants you to have. Guys, there are many buttons you could hit, but I like a subscribe button. I hope they took your fancy. And as always, guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace. Come out. So you beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video we're going to focus on the blog post that's recently come out from Call of Duty in regards to the information for Season 1 Reloaded. Now I'm not not going to go through absolutely everything in this. If you do want to read everything, then I will link it down for your viewing pleasure in the description. But I'm going to go through the important bits, but also two of the bits that I think are going to be quite controversial to members of the community. So for the first time ever, we're going to get a Spec Ops raid, and in this raid you need to help Price, Farah and Gaz go into this highly fortified facility, and in there is supposed to be certain cosmetic rewards, and also I believe you unlock Gaz if you come out of there alive. Now, to unlock the raids, you're going to require a key, and these can be earned through the following methods, which is complete a specific daily challenge, either in multiplayer or Spec Ops, place within the top 20 in any Warzone 2 Battle Royale playlist. In DMZ, you need to extract with at least $30,000 in cash, and then ultimately that will give you the key you'll need to access the raid, and I believe you can access it for a week. In terms of multiplayer, we're getting Shipment as a new map. Well, I can't call it a new map, we've had it several times now, and we're going to get the Christmas version where it's all lit up as well. I don't know why people continue to call it Holidays. To me, it is a Christmas map. That's exactly what we're trying to celebrate and signify with it, so why not just call it Christmas? It leaves me scratching my head every time. So that'll be a limited time mode, and then it will revert back to the typical Shipment that some of you know and love. Not for me. Shipment's not for me. Apparently this is going to go back to the more traditional design as opposed to the one in Modern Warfare 2019 with the crazy spawns, but again, it's just not a map that I enjoy at all. In terms of DMZ, there's going to be a Building 21, which is a new point of interest, and you'll need to do certain things. It doesn't really disclose this. It says redacted. You need to do certain things to access the building. So I'm going to assume this is where they're going to put the new submachine gun, which is silenced, and people refer to this gun, to my frustration, as the Honey Badger. It's not a Honey Badger, it's the SIG MCX. They're not even the same. They're not even close to being the same gun. I think Swag was the first person to say it, and everyone just ran with it. It's really, really frustrating, but whatever. There's going to be a limited time playlist with the Warzone Cup. This is going to be basically a Call of Duty ripoff of Rocket League. And then we're going to have Mini Royale for Warzone 2, where basically the storm is already shrunk quite small, and it'll be very busy in that particular zone. And then we need to talk about the controversial side of this update, and that's going to be two things. So Warzone, upon the arrival of the combat records, we are going to lose all of the progress that you've made if you've had any wins in Warzone 2 so far. Now, I know of people like Mr. Soldier. He's got, I think, 31 wins last time I was watching his stream. There are people out there with apparently 400 plus wins. Don't ask me how they've managed to accumulate so many already, but they're not going to essentially count for their combat record, which to me is BS. Now, you can look at this from both sides of the fence, but it's something, in my personal opinion, that these guys should not be silent on. They should be telling us, guys, just be prepared that when the season does come out, it's going to reset your stats. There's no reason for them to not communicate this sort of thing out to people who have essentially paid money for the game and expect their stats to count. People want clarification as to why this is being done, and nobody wants to own up. They just want to put out a blog post and hide behind it. Now, it's going to be great for those of you who have done the camo challenges and had your stats get absolutely wrecked, but But for those people who want that badge of honor where they've got this much wins and it's no longer showing on their combat record when people request it in videos, because that's what people do, or on live streams, then it's going to be a bit of a shame. And I just think a bit more transparency is definitely needed from these guys. And then finally, the the LA Thieves skin, which is Rose 2.0, people have been calling it, which was all black, they've nerfed it. It now comes looking like this, where it's got the red straps and the red goggles. Now, to me personally, it looks really good still, but I do understand from the perspective of people who have brought this, they brought it because of how it originally looked in the shop, and some people might not. Now, it has been mentioned by a guy that I follow on Twitter called Maverick that they are still doing refunds on battle.net.com, but I don't know how long that's going to last for. So I believe they will shut the floodgates eventually to stop people coming back and returning this in a massive wave, because they knew what they was going to do. And I think they always knew that this was going to change, but the Rose skin sold like hotcakes straight off the press. It's a skin that they saw the community buying in big numbers. So I think they've been a bit clever and a bit underhanded with this one. But you can let me know down in the comment section if you've brought this particular skin and if you're annoyed from the fact that they have changed it to this. And are you annoyed if you do play Warzone 2.0 that your stats are going to be reset on the start of the new season? Let me know down in the comment section. Guys, there are many buttons you could hit, but a like and subscribe button, update to your fancy. And as always, guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace. So you beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. Quick question for you guys. So you beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. Quick question for you guys. How did you find out about Call of Duty? Down in the comment section, was it via friends, work colleagues? Was it via the internet or social media? Or was it via one of those really cool live action ads that they used to do way back in the day? Today I wanted to talk about a bit of a facade that I'm seeing starting to crumble personally in the Call of Duty scene. Modern Warfare 2 has been touted as the fastest selling Call of Duty of all time, and that may well be true, but if you actually put context there, I don't think it's as true as a lot of people seem to believe. Modern Warfare 3, prior to Modern Warfare 2 coming out, was the fastest selling Call of Duty of all time. That sold 6.5 million copies in the short space of 24 hours, going on to sell over 30 million copies. Now, if I was a publisher like Activision, if Modern Warfare 2 really had outdone that game for the first Call of Duty in 11 years' time, I would be showing the units, because that's a powerful way in terms of marketing to demonstrate to people just how many games more this game sold and why you may be missing out if you don't buy it. I mean, if you heard something sold double the last version of something, wouldn't you personally think that's a better product off the top of your head? I would. In terms of the sales, let's not forget this game cost the minimum of $10 more than Modern Warfare 3 originally charged. I think for every 6 games sold, this game gets an extra free sale over Modern Warfare 3. And there are other things that we can look at that would contradict that this game is doing as well as Activision want us to believe. The first thing I've noticed is Call of Duty tends to win Multiplayer Game of the Year at the Game Awards every single year without fail. This year, it was beaten by Splatoon 3, which I personally feel is quite an embarrassing feat for a game that is apparently the fastest selling Call of Duty of all time. If we actually look at this graph, we'll kind of work something out here in terms of real-term context. At the start of the graph, you'll see the graph is quite low. Now that is the release of Modern Warfare 2, the multiplayer aspect of the game. The game came out on November the 10th, and then on November the 16th, just after that, we see this massive spike where the graph goes up around 2/3 or maybe 3/4 in reality. And that was the release of Call of Duty Warzone 2. This game was highly anticipated if you think about all of the people that experienced this game in lockdown and all of the sanity that it actually brought a lot of people. But as time goes down, we start to see this graph diminish and go close to where it originally started from. Now, please bear in mind one detail here, one very important detail. This graph is a compilation of both Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, DMZ, and the likes of Call of Duty Warzone. All of those games that you would say categorically is doing well in your eyes. And just to bring some more context to this, you've got games like Apex Legends, which has still got a higher daily peak than this game. That's one single